Hello there folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video. We are on a lovely hike. It's the middle of the night. We are on the Laguna Torre hike. Ultimately looking to try and get to this beautiful, beautiful lake where we can see some reflections hopefully. And yeah, everybody is having a great time. So onwards we go. It's very dark, there's no point in me filming anything. Welcome friends to the ASMR photography studio, and welcome to a starry, cloudy night. And you're probably all thinking, wait, hold on, the video's only been on like what, 30 seconds and we're already looking at a picture here? It was so dark, folks, like so dark. I couldn't record anything, and there's no point in me talking to the camera with just this random bouncing light in the frame. So I thought, let's just get there. We were all so looking forward to the opportunity of photographing some astro at this gorgeous, gorgeous place. But as you can see, the clouds were heavy and thick, with only just a few breaks in the sky. But sure, nonetheless, we all set up. And this is one of the images that I got during the pre-dawn session that we had here at this location. Super happy with it. Lovely and surreal looking. I don't mind a bit of movement in the clouds and the little few stars that are there. It was just such a wonderful experience to be there. So onwards and upwards, as they say. We have made it, folks, and look at the melee behind us. So it's a very popular spot, and as you can see it is packed here full of people, but sure, nonetheless we're all having a great time. The mountain is hiding behind the clouds, unfortunately, but it is still an absolutely gorgeous scene. About maybe 15 minutes ago, there was some beautiful, beautiful colour in the sky and some nice reflections as well. So it's all proven to be very good. So hopefully the mountain decides to come out, but there is a slight bit of a glow happening on the mountain there too. So we might get lucky. We might get lucky, but sure, we'll see how we get on.
He's like, I understood 3 words you said there.
That's exactly right. What?
This is one of these sad states that I'm about to tell you guys all. So you can see how...
Wow, what an absolute explosion of colour we had in the sky. Now you're probably all thinking, what in God's name am I looking at here? It looks like a bananas mess. I've processed this image probably about 4 times to try and keep the colour and saturation in check. I just simply couldn't contain it. And wow, what an absolutely gorgeous morning. The only thing that's missing is the pointy mountain, but sure, nonetheless, it's still such a wonderful, wonderful thing to see colours like this in the sky and having a beautiful foreground like we managed to secure our position in. As you could tell, it was very, very busy. Finding this foreground here really, really helps balance the frame and gives us a beautiful leading line into this kind of V shape that ultimately pops in color. Wonderful, wonderful image and a beautiful composition, and one that we were all super duper happy to find. It's always a really great idea when you're in a group setting like this to be able to talk about compositions, tweak compositions, and basically just help each other achieve the best kind of images that you can, and that's certainly what happened here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful morning. So the beautiful thing about a scene like this is you usually get into everybody else's photograph, which Brendan has just experienced now with me and my tripod and where I put it. So that's a plus one for me.
The thing about photography is it's really, you have to dial into your scene. You have to see the world around you and forget everybody behind you. They don't matter. No, if you're in their frame, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter as long as you've got the scene.
As long as we've got the scene, that's what counts. As the light faded from the clouds and the mountain stayed shrouded in mystery. So we ended up lingering for a good while at this particular lagoon, and I found this beautiful composition. I really love the way that the stones in the foreground, this foreground balance the frame, and one that I was really happy to play around with and tweak. And ultimately, when I settled on this particular image, I really like the balance of the overall scene, kind of like the previous image that we were just looking at, minus that insane color. It's still nice to be able to just photograph, even though it may seem quite harsh, well, at least it is to me. It's still a wonderfully balanced frame, and one that I'm super duper happy that I managed to capture. Yeah. Well, what an absolutely beautiful morning we had. Unfortunately, the mountain didn't reveal itself, but nonetheless, it was gorgeous. We had such beautiful light and lovely reflections. So I really hope those pictures turned out. But it was such a great hike. I didn't shoot any kind of B-roll around it just because you just couldn't see it. It was so dark. But it took about 2.5 hours, and I was kind of in the middle of the pack, and it's such a beautiful walk. Now the way home is going to prove itself to be much better, because obviously we'll be able to see stuff, but supposedly the fall color on the way back is gorgeous. So I'm really excited about the walk home, and we're in no great rush to get back, so I'm going to take my time, take some photos, and hopefully not fall over. But for now, let's enjoy some nice walking and let's get to it. So I was talking with one of the guys from the group, Philip, nice chap, and I was like, oh, you know, I'd love to get this, that, way, and the other, and camera wise, and blah blah blah. And I was like, why don't I just put the microphone on this camera and I can still then shoot nice pictures? So I've swapped to my medium 24 to 70 or 28 to 75, sorry, just so I can punch in a bit, because Jesus, even looking here now, I'm going to take this picture. Hold on. So begins my obsession with fall colours or autumn colours. I really need to stop saying fall. I'm European, it's autumn. I've never seen colours like this on trees before, and it was such a wonderful experience to be able to photograph them. And this is only the beginning of our chase for autumn colours in Patagonia. Next week's video is pretty much going to be all about that, but there you go, foreshadowing at its finest. But I really love this image. And one of the beautiful things about this particular hike is finding just these rando kind of off the cuff frames, but they just scream picture, take a picture, photograph me. So happy I spun the camera around and took a photograph, because I really love this image. Just such a beautiful etherealism to the frame, and just that color in the leaves is just incredible. It's just incredible. I'm still totally taken aback by it all. It's a wonderful thing to relive the experience through the images, and I'm super duper happy with how this one turned out. Anyway, like I was saying, it's nice to be able to have, I use a 6500 for my main kind of like vlogging camera. It's super light, and I use my 18mm, which is even lighter, and it's a wonderful setup. But I don't really like the images that come out of the A6500. It's a fantastic video camera, but then I was like, I'd love to take photos while I'm walking and have the opportunity to talk. So I just decided to change the camera. And here we go. So this is my test. Now, you're probably all sitting there thinking, what in holy God are we looking at right now? This is just a mad jumbled mess. But to any discerning eye out there, I tried my hand at a bit of ICM, which is an acronym, as we may know, as intentional camera movement. I'm very curious to know your thoughts about this particular style of photography. I never do this, and one of the beautiful things about walking for 2.5 hours or 3 hours is it gives you such a great opportunity to talk about photography in general and all different kinds of genres of photography. And of course, ICM photography came up, and I thought, I've never tried it, let's give it a bash. When Orla looks at this picture, she said it gives her a headache. When I look at this picture, I don't know what I make of it at all, to be honest, which I'm still in two minds about whether I actually like it. I really like the color in the image and the way that I ultimately chose to process it in terms of bringing out the whites of the trees. I really like, because it's a nice kind of contrast and a nice constant within the frame. I don't know, I'm very unsure whether I actually like ICM photography. Now granted, it's just my first time, so I probably made a complete mess of it. Still very curious to hear your thoughts, so do please let me know in the comments below if ICM photography is something that you've tried or something that you're even into. Ultimately, what do you think of this image, if you're into it, or just in general? I'd be very curious to know. So I'm just going to hit you with one long ramble as these next few images pop up on the screen for you. First one being me again trying my hand at processing black and white imagery. There was such a beautiful band of light that cascaded across the landscape, as you can see here. And even when I took it, I kind of thought, yeah, maybe. And then when I processed it, I thought, let's give it a go in black and white. Now, I don't know whether I actually like this picture or not. I just figured it would be a good opportunity for me to practice my black and white processing again. There's some beautiful heavy contrast in the frame, which I like. I don't know, I think it might be a bit too messy, this kind of image. It's one that's open to critique, so please critique. One of the things that really stood out to me during the walk back were these wonderful lone trees that were just standing so perfectly in the fall colors or the autumn colors, and I couldn't help but being drawn to them. There were just these beautiful white trees. I have no idea what kind of trees they are, so if anybody knows, they can let me know. And I must say, this particular frame was one of my favorites. I remember when I did take it, I thought, oh yeah, I really do like this one. It's beautiful depth. I shot it at maybe like 5.6 or so, add a nice bit of depth of field to the frame. Really do like the winding path that leads through the image and brings us ultimately to this tree, and we're just surrounded by fall colors. I really like this image, and probably one that could lend itself well to be printed, of course, if I ever get around to printing anything. So this image again is just another example of me finding these wonderful trees popping up out of the landscape and being shrouded and surrounded by all of this wonderful color. Super duper happy with this image. It's just pure, it's just orange, amber, golden, it's gorgeous. There's no red in there, and the red really contrasts with the amber, but this particular frame to me felt much stronger when I just isolated the white tree with purely the amber leaves on the trees surrounding. And one again I feel like could be very nice printed, or like a postcard or something, but I really do like this image. I'm super duper happy with how it turned out. And again, this is basically just a simpler scene. I ended up cropping it at a 1:1 as I felt like there was just a bit of dead space on either side of the main subject, which is ultimately the tree in the middle of the frame. But I really love this image. The glow from the backlight is just so beautiful, and the way it illuminates these leaves on the branches, it's just so gorgeous. And like I said earlier, it's like I've never seen color like this in a forest or on trees, and I must say it was a real treat to be able to just be there, let alone photograph it. It was so beautiful, and memories that I will cherish forever indeed. The overall aesthetic of this frame, I feel like, is probably one of the stronger images from this set. I just like the way that the glow on the leaves is with the sunlight backlit. It's just such a beautiful morning and a wonderful walk that we all had. So super duper happy with how all these images turned out. So, with such a big hike done this morning, I think it was about 18 kilometers worth of a hike, it was magic. And the return journey was just It was just special, really, really fantastic, and just so beautiful. And I hope the pictures I captured turned out anyway decent, because it was just so beautiful. Just it was so beautiful. I know I keep saying that all the time, but it really is so beautiful. And then just now we're here just chilling. We're gonna have some dinner pretty soon, and we just decided to come walk along this beautiful riverfront, just through these beautiful trees. And I'm not really taking any photographs, so just enjoying it, you know. I've got all my stuff on my back. It's only a very light little walk from town, like, and yeah, just enjoying it. It's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. There's all these wonderful gnarly trees. I don't know what kind of trees they are. I'll pop it up on the screen if I can. But other than that, it's just so beautiful to be here. Wow, I mean, really, it's so wonderful. We got to see Greg again this morning, so he might make an appearance in a video if the battery doesn't run out this time. But nonetheless, we are enjoying our beautiful hike right now. So I think I'll just leave it here, because to be honest, I don't know if I'll take any photographs. As I say, I'm just happy just to be here and have a nice walk, you know, stretch the legs after the stretching of the legs. And so I really enjoyed today. It was probably one of the things that I was most looking forward to, was to do that big lovely hike and to get it done, and you know, to actually feel like I could get it done, which was a wonderful feeling. And everybody had such a great time. But I think the weather is to turn on us tomorrow morning, so I don't know if we'll be getting up to do anything in the sunrise, but we'll see, you never know. But so anyways, that's a little bit of a ramble to end the video for you. So as always, folks, if you like the video, then absolutely do hit that like button, and of course, if you fancy following along for more adventures like this one, because there are going to be more adventures like this one, by all means do hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Woo! Cheers.